Hello, hello. Happy time zone, everyone. Welcome to the stream for the day. Hi, Joe. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hi, Tom. Cool little emote there. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Wow, I'm just like, I'm, I'm looking at myself. My beard. Look at this hair. Wait, where is it? You can tell how long my hair is because this is just sticking out there. My beard is huge right now. Growing everything out for the show that I'm in. And in my head, I was like, I think that I might clean up my beard like every Monday, and then come the show on Friday, it'll be scruffy enough for my character again. But I didn't get a chance to do that today, and I really meant to. So now I feel like my beard is huge. I also let it go longer this past week than I usually would because we were doing like dress rehearsals and stuff all week. So my hat's crooked too. Anyways, I'm just looking at myself. that's who I am. But hi everyone. How are you doing? I hope you're all doing well. I just realized, are captions working? Captions are not going yet. Let's start some captions. There they go. All right. Everything else appears to be working. I think I fixed the audio and video out of sync. The one thing that's not working, I noticed right when I went live, is that the countdown on my starting soon page is not working. Weird. Rewatching the VOD from the start of last week, thinking about the gravelly voice acting you have to do. Yeah, I had an audience member come up to me after the show this weekend and say that I should play Beetlejuice because of the voice that I was doing for one of my characters. And one of the other actors also said that she overheard people saying that my character was so creepy. You're introduced to that character via audio only at first while walking through a copper mine. So it is a creepy experience to like hear him and while you're in like the darkness and dripping of this mine. But I wasn't sure if like what I was going for was actually working, so that was nice to hear from at least one audience member, potentially multiple, that it was going good. So yeah, and I was like, man, if I could sing, I would love to play Beetlejuice. I'm a huge fan of Beetlejuice. Since there are only a couple of people here right now, I will say I have been working on a bit of a Beetlejuice thing for Twitch, potentially. Don't try it now, nothing will happen, but maybe one day in the future there might be something might happen. I need to stop saying the name too. How many times have I said it? Oh no. How are you all doing tonight? Tom and Joe and anyone else who's here and wants to chime in. Did you have a good weekend? What are you working on, or what are you eating for dinner tonight? I believe I edited the stream notification so that you may know that I will be working on, hopefully, the worm container for my Wingspan organizers. I mean, we're definitely working on that one, but whether or not we make it to worm tonight or not, I don't know. I also just realized that my background color is gonna match the worm color. That was not intentional. This was actually meant to be a bit of a blue. On the remote, it looks more blue, but on camera, it looks very green, and appropriately green for the worm. Also for all of this bee juice talk. I don't want to say the name again. But I feel like worms and green are very apropos for that story as well. But anyway, yeah, we'll attempt to get to Wormtown. And in that vein, perhaps I will start in on the warm-up pattern first. So let's go ahead. We'll switch over to here. Oh, Mikey is sick. I'm sorry to hear that. Both for Mikey and Joe. Mostly Mikey, but Joe, sounds like you're doing a good job taking care of him. I hope that he feels better soon, and I hope that you do not catch it, Joe. That is always the challenge. Whoa, Tom, that is so many things. I hope that your friend is doing very well. I feel like now that you said you've got all of these birthday's happening, you were working on some like last minute cross stitch or what? No, it wasn't last minute. You had planned. It sounded last minute to me, but you were working on projects for all of these folks, I believe. So let me know. Let us know how those went and if I'm remembering that all correctly. Okay, so let's do. Just do another short spool. It is long spool summer, but we're gonna do another short spool. If I can find a needle here. Here we go. I have so many different work in progress projects happening right now that I literally only have one extra needle minder on my plate right now. I believe I have access to at least 3 of them for this stream. That's not even the floss that I wanted right now. What am I doing? What am I doing here? But yeah, most of my needle minders are presently attached to work in progress projects. I think I need to make more needle minders. I think that of my current lapel pin collection, I've made needle minders of all the ones I would want. But I feel like I've been at a few places recently, like craft fairs and stuff, where I maybe could have let myself buy a lapel pin to make a needle minder out of. Actually, I'm just remembering. Where'd they go? I've got two things I thought I might make needle minders out of. Actually, this one I don't want to, now that I look at it again. So this is like just really cool fan art from Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, and I do think still that it looks really cool. And when I bought it, it like was kind of broken. It was like that. So I literally never used it, even back when I was okay with Harry Potter. But I don't think I need this as a needle minder now. So maybe this will just go to the recycling or something like that. But I do have this little waffle that someone gave me once. And this is not metal, so I'd have to do like metal on both sides to get it to work. Whereas the beauty of lapel pins is like they're already metal. Some of them even come with a magnetic backing, but if not, you can make them magnets. But this little waffle would be fun to turn into a needle minder. I don't think I'm ever going to wear it as a necklace. I probably did a couple of times, but I don't think that I'm going to now. So yeah, this would be a great little needle minder. What, man, you say that so many times, it starts sounding like the wrong word. Of course, yes, the classic Will It Waffle needle minder, as Joe has put in the chat. Can't believe I autopiloted to another long spool last night. JK, I can totally believe it. Yeah, I mean, it's me. That's how I do things. Oh, Tom, I'm sorry to hear that the last-minute project did not turn out how you wanted. That is often how it is. But I'm glad that the first one turned out well. Nice. Needle minder. Did I say that? Or are you... like, I genuinely have no idea. I may have said that. Whoops. Okay, so we need some brand new floss for the spool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, good. Glad I didn't actually say that. That's great. I gotta think of some, like, activities for long spool summer. I mean, one obvious thing is to do a long live stream. Or, like, a normal person's average length live stream. But that, I think I tentatively put one on the calendar that I was calling Long Spool. I don't know if I called it Long Spool Summer, but just like a long live stream for me is gonna now, it's forever gonna be a long spool. Tune in for the long spool, just meaning a long live stream. Yes, Joe, needle minderify your Will It Waffle lapel pin. I'm in full support of that, so long as you do it safely. I think I use just, what do I use? I don't think I use wire cutters. What have I used when like, maybe I just use pliers, but I always, like, just in case, put on, safety glasses and sometimes work gloves. The little piece of the pin kind of will, like, it comes off, in my experience, has come off easier than I expect every time, but it also just, like, flies somewhere, and you don't want that to be your eyeball. So, do that safely. But in theory, I fully support that action. of turning my merch into needle minders. And maybe when I make merch again one day, I will just straight up make needle minders. I feel like the places that I had like manufacture my merch had magnet options for the lapel pins. So you just make them magnets instead of pins. Ah, a long, tall glass. Okay, yep. Yeah, we can just think of lots of long things, which as a short person is not usually my MO. Yeah, Joe, maybe even like if you have a patio or a garage, like somewhere the cat never goes, that might even be better just in case you don't find it right away. Ugh. Oh, too far. Ooh, this is not on, nor plugged in. We'll turn it on for now. There's a little extra light. Excuse me. Okay, so another short spool. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give one stitch of space, and then we're gonna do short spool. If I can trick it into autofocusing here instead, alas. So this is coming up my first week not having rehearsals every weeknight, except Monday. Only once or twice did we have rehearsals on Monday. But I am now fully in performance only zone. So my Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays are all gone, but I do not have rehearsal every weeknight, which is just a huge relief because I was having to like leave my working hours like in the middle of the afternoon and then be gone until not too late, but like it was all very tiring and it was very hard to do anything except for like, you know, minimum requirements of stuff that I had to do. And obviously I still have the show to do and I'm working on moving. So there's a lot going on, but it feels like a relief, or at least feels like even if I don't like get a break now, it feels more like I can get things done, and I'm looking forward to a time of being able to get even more things done once the move is over, which I know moving is always like, you also have to unpack and set things up for a long time. But I don't know, it's been a very, very busy year so far, and I am looking forward to things easing a tiny bit, or at least sort of, yeah, I guess feeling more sustainable. And I mean that for like all aspects of my life, but also in terms of like Twitch and other content creation, and just feeling like I might get back to a point of being able to get into a rhythm there. I mean, we'll see. I always say that. But this does feel it feels like with the move, I will actually be getting there. Yep, moving in August. So the rest of the house has started getting packed up. I do think it would be fun to do a packing live stream to pack up this room. So we'll see if I do that. I think that would be fun. I mean, in general, I'd love to like vibe check how people feel about different kinds of live streams like that. Like, obviously, I usually cross-stitch. But I have thought about doing other kinds of streams, like even like straight-up co-working. Like, maybe doing a couple of hours where, like, I'd probably be working on, like, writing. Maybe we Pomodoro it, and, like, you know, every 25 minutes we kind of share updates and goals with each other of how our co-working has been going, of like whatever you're working on, which could still be a craft. We'll like take a break to chat here and there kind of thing. Or I've thought about maybe trying to like take the live stream out to the garden, or doing things like packing. And then of course just like other crafts, like over the holidays when I did the wax sealing envelopes, like the little wax stamps, which I felt we all had fun with, but maybe that was just me. In any sense, yeah, doing like non-cross-stitch things, but especially things that get a little bit outside of the crafty sphere. Ren, hi! I was gonna say, are you with Hazel? I assume you are with Hazel, since you're on on Hazel's account there. But hello, hello. Excellent time to walk in when I'm like talking about what I may or may not do for future content, because I feel like that's what so many of our in-person and in-text discussions always are. Hazel is driving. Okay, drive safe, Hazel. But fun that you're both together and stopping in to say hello. Packing stream sounds fun. Co-working stream sounds productive and supportive. Yeah. Yeah, Joe, if you don't know who we're talking about, that would have been a little confusing. Okay, Tom, I like that you say that any of those ideas might inspire you to do things that need doing, like tidying during the packing stream, writing during co-working. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we have a handful of writers in our kind of regular crew here, and so a co-working stream where many of us are writing, I think could really work. I've even entertained the idea of a co-reading stream where we wouldn't be reading the same thing. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we make a book club. I've had many book club ideas, but like literally just in the same kind of like 20 minutes on, 5 minutes off. Like we have a countdown and we all sit and read. And then we come back and we discuss what we've been reading. We talk about the books we're reading. Audio if I'm moving around. So I think what I would do, Joe, is I have a little wireless lapel mic that I have tested with OBS. And so it maybe it would maybe like you get those kinds of sounds as I'm moving my arms. But otherwise, yeah, like I can be on the other side of the room or like walking around and I don't need to be like projecting to this microphone because I'd have a microphone on me. I tested it once and I feel like I remember it being really straightforward, but I would test it again before we do it. Anyways, let's start filling in this short spool with a little bit of 817 red. Call it ASMR and it's a feature, not a bug. ASMR packing live stream. Just put that there. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad that the couple of you that are here tonight are into some of those ideas. They're ideas I've had kicking around for a while. Oh, I guess the only other idea in terms of like doing things on stream that are not just cross-stitching, I've had lots of ideas for like alerts and bits and stuff like that one day will happen, or like ideas for, I don't know, just I've had lots of other, but in terms of like a task while on stream, this is sort of related, but once I actually publish long YouTube videos again, I would love to like follow up the premiere of those videos with a longer live stream. And I think probably I would still just cross-stitch during that. Maybe I need like a little bit more thematic of a project that like relates to the video. I don't know. But I think a lot of the content of the discussion of that would potentially be more related to that video. So that's the last like wild card idea of something that would be a little bit different from what we usually do here on Monday nights. But yeah, I feel like in February or something, I started talking about a big long video that I was gonna post. And it's still in post-production because I just haven't had a chance to touch it like all summer, but I am determined. Big long videos do take time, Tom. You know very well. And this has been one of my problems the last several years, is the videos that I've most wanted to make are really involved, like, big life milestone ones. And, like, I think the kind of video that I'm interested in making right now is something that is higher production value and would take longer than, like, my old vlogs used to anyways. But the only ones that I've like been able to even prioritize are the ones that take like 10 times as long as even that. So it's just it's been a lot, and I want to get this last really big one out, and then I've just been thinking a lot about how can I make it a little bit more sustainable. I mean, I would love to get back to one long form video a month, but that is just not in the cards at the moment. It'd be so fun though. I would like to do that. But yeah, I mean, for a very long time, I've loved the idea of following up a video like post with a live stream and just a place to like chat about it. The YouTube Premiere function, which if folks aren't familiar with, it's like you can set your video to upload almost like a live stream, and so it goes live at the same time for everyone, like a video does, but it has a chat with it, and everyone's like watching it through for the first time all together, and you can be talking in the chat. And I think that's really fun and really cool. And I've also thought of like, well, hey, what if I do that and then we like keep the party going in a stream? And maybe I'm like overthinking how much other people would want to discuss the video, because that does sound a little egotistical to think that, but it's like a talk back. Like if you go to a film with the filmmakers and you do a talk back afterwards, or sometimes at plays. The play that I'm in, we have a talk back every single night after the show, and you have like the museum curator, sometimes the playwright or the director, and then one of the actors, and like we have a couple of prepared things we talk about, and then otherwise there's the audience asking us questions, and it's kind of fun because it's a little bit different every night of like the vibe you get of the kinds of questions. So I don't know. And maybe it's I share a couple of things about the video at the start of the stream, and then it just turns into a normal stream where we talk about long spools and our gender of the day and whatever other wacky stuff we get up to on this stream. But yeah, that's hopefully I will try that out for this video whenever it's finally finished, hopefully in September, when I have a little post-show, post-moving breathing room, and we'll see how it goes. Long spool is the gender of the summer. I'm here for it. Long spool, when you were talking about how like long spools, as in a long stream, just needs to have like lots of long things featured in it, I was reminded, because of what I started talking about a minute later, that in my like internal notes, I just refer to what is a normal YouTube video as a long, because there's YouTube Shorts and short form video generally, and so I'm like, well, now everything else is a long. I'm just calling it a YouTube long. Sounds like I enjoy interactive performance art. What, me? No way. I'm not an alum of an experimental theater troupe that was very heavy on audience participation, or a former trivia host. Yeah, most of what I do is very interactive. And that has been interesting, being in this show with, like, I would say everyone's a varying level of professional actor in the play I'm doing right now, but a lot of them are much more traditional backgrounds, and I'm coming in as the weirdo with the interactive background. And so I'm just our show, like, it's described as immersive. It's kind of like takes place in multiple places on this site, and the idea of having to like interact with the audience without having something scripted is just like not at all scary or nerve-wracking to me, because I'm very used to stuff like that. But I think some of the other performers are like a little freaked out by that idea or intimidated by it. So yes, I enjoy interactive performance art. And Tom, I did not forget your question. I just knew I was going to have a long answer. Tom asked in the chat if I do captions for my videos, or do I do the captions for my videos. My videos do all have captions, because it takes the longest going through making sure they're all right. So I will say one of the most frustrating things about, well, I don't know, media in general, internet media, is like doing the right thing takes so much more effort, and so many people don't do the right thing. And yeah, having captions has gotten a lot easier over the years, but having good captions is still quite a lot of effort. Captions are close to the number one reason that I stopped daily vlogging and I used to do Vlogmas, and I loved doing Vlogmas, but it could be up to an extra couple of hours of work to get captions for those videos. I think it would be less now for reasons I will tell you in a minute that will be helpful. But okay, so when I used to make long videos regularly, to caption an unscripted video, I would pay for, I don't even remember what it's called now, but I would pay for a service and someone would caption. But usually the quickest you would get that was within 24 hours. And so you'd have to have your video ready in advance, send it out to get the captions done. And those were usually pretty good. I'd say like 95% accuracy, and you could even give them a glossary and, you know, other resources so that they could get stuff accurate. And I didn't mind paying for it. But when you're making a video every single day and a month, not only does that add up to a lot of money, but I was needing to be like filming those and posting those videos almost immediately. I didn't have time to wait for the 24-hour turnaround for captions. So I was having to caption them myself. YouTube used to have one of the best captions programs. I mean, like we shit on it all the time. It was bad, and YouTube's policy for captions was terrible. I'm gonna snooze this ad while I'm getting on soapbox here. But we will have an ad starting in about 5 minutes. But in terms of like other comparable services, YouTube's used to be very good. What was annoying about it was it did not do punctuation. So it wouldn't capitalize things, there wouldn't be like periods or exclamation points, it would just all sort of flow through. But it was fairly accurate in your speaking if you had decent speaking, and this is all from English, as like for English speakers as well. I cannot vouch for how good the captions were in other languages. Also, I am not talking about auto captions that just show up on YouTube videos. I'm talking about if the uploader of the video went into YouTube captions and there was a slightly different workflow for getting what was close to auto captions, but slightly better. And that's what took way too much time and effort, was even using that feature. If I was going back to add the punctuation or the capitalization and just double check that it was all good for like a 20-minute vlog that was unscripted, that kind of made doing daily vlogging unsustainable for me. What has changed is that several years ago, Adobe far outstripped YouTube/Google in their captioning functionality. So I pay for an Adobe Creative Cloud subscription. I write it off on my taxes, so I know this is a privileged thing to have access to, but if you have access to Adobe Premiere Pro, the captions on there are pretty phenomenal, and they do have punctuation and capitalization, and they pick up on words that like the YouTube one never did. And that makes it pretty easy these days. There's still a lot of tweaking you have to do, especially if you're going to do burned on captions, which you probably want to do for short form video. But what I have done for my last several long videos is I've just hit the like or I think it's like text and then captions. There's a little bit of a workflow on Adobe Premiere Pro. And I will export the SRT file once Adobe Premiere, I've edited it all to how I want it, and then I upload the SRT file to YouTube. What's up, Coconut? I'm getting on a little soapbox / hopeful instructional help for folks about captioning online videos. Okay, Tom, that's a pretty good workflow then. I'd say that's probably what I would recommend, is like editing wherever you edit and then importing it in Premiere to do the captions, and then you can export the Premiere captions to YouTube using the SRT file. Yeah, it does take more work, and maybe you were hoping I would give you a quicker update than that, but it's so much easier than it used to be that to me that's like not as much. Yeah, so maybe none of that was helpful now that I see you're already doing the thing I was gonna recommend. But I guess the larger point is like, yes, captions takes work, and I am happy to do that work because I want my content to be accessible to people. And not to make it like the most important thing is like deaf and hard of hearing people can have access to it. And if you are needing to like make the argument to other people who don't care as much about equal access. The universal design argument is like so many people watch videos without sound on these days, like because you're in public somewhere and being polite or for whatever reason, and so having the captions on there means more people, if they're like burned on, like more people are going to watch that video who otherwise might swipe past because they're like, oh, I don't have the sound on, I don't want to turn the sound on, and I don't know what this person's saying now. Also, captions often count for metadata, which helps out the algorithm. So, you know, all these great reasons to do captions, and if you are trying to do captions correctly, it is a lot of work, or it takes time and money. Okay, I need to... Tom, I'm gonna try to find... Maybe not now, because I don't know if I have enough CPU. I don't know why I can't remember the name of the company that I used to use. And I haven't used them for many years, so it's totally possible they've got all kinds of bad business practices now. But it used to be about $1 a minute. I remember they raised the prices at some point towards the end of me using them. So if you have a 40-minute video, yeah, that's a lot. If it's more of a 10-minute video, maybe not bad, depending on what your budget is. So that's my big captions rant. I could have been cross-stitching while I did that, but I was in between setting things up. We do have an ad coming up in either 20 plus seconds if you're not a subscriber. Sarah says, I remember in university a number of the international students whose native language wasn't English said it so much. Oh yeah. If you're watching a video that isn't your native language, super helpful to have captions. That's how I used to practice French when I was taking that. Yeah, and that's 45-minute plus videos. That's where it got hard for me as well, Tom. I was just like, this is making this video so expensive. I've already sunk like the cost of my labor into it, and like also paying for a Creative Cloud subscription, paying for, you know, all the other things you're already paying for to put a YouTube video up there, and then you have this last minute charge of like $60 for an hour-long video essay or something. It's really tough. Tom Scott said something in a video once that, and I've never fact-checked it, so take this with a grain of salt, but he said something along the lines of like, in the UK, whether or not you have to caption all of your video, maybe it wasn't captioning, maybe it was some other accessibility thing, but whether or not you have to do it sort of depends on like the budget size of the production company. So if it's like BBC One, they are required to do the full extent of whatever accessibility things. But if it's like an independent production studio that's trying to operate at like £20,000 a year, then they only have to do a certain percentage. Now, obviously from universal design, I do not like this idea. I would rather that like all of these services didn't cost so much money, but there was something to that of like acknowledging that it is a greater, in some cases, completely unsustainable burden for smaller production companies, smaller creators, and therefore, like, you can't quite make that requirement, or they would never be able to create, you know, the art that they're trying to put out there. I still don't love it, but I feel like there is something to that model, potentially. Or even if I don't believe in that model, I think it feels a little bit validating in the like, oh, as someone who's always been a small to medium-sized creator, one of the things that has often prevented me from being able to make as much as I want, make as much content as I want to, is trying to make it accessible. Something I have certainly not always done to the extent I would like to, but even the extent that I've done it, like, has made it harder for me to produce as much content as someone who is not doing those things correctly, who does have the means to do so. And it's very frustrating. So I don't know, that weird British model is intriguing. And again, I don't think I ultimately agree with it, but it is intriguing. Okay, let's work on this worm. Gotta get my project bag. Okay, I'll just put this stand away for now. Don't need keyboard. Need to clean keyboard at some point. That'll need to happen. Let's just microphone. Sorry about that. Oh, we didn't even finish the last side of this. Wow, I really didn't get far last stream. Probably because I was yapping the whole time like this time. Okay, introduction to this project in case there's anyone new here this week. There we go. Thought I had to burp. Got it. Okay, so I am making organizers for the tabletop game Wingspan. It is a game where you kind of collect birds. It's a fun game. It has beautiful illustrations. Like many tabletop games, it comes with lots and lots of parts to it. And the just basic version of the game pretty much just comes with like little plastic containers and little plastic bags for all of the pieces. I broke some of those and it was like, oh, I'll get like canvas bags or something that'll work better and you know, stay together for longer. But when I had that idea, I was like, I could cross stitch on those canvas bags. So I have some canvas bags, and I cross stitched on them. This is not complete. That's why the waste canvas is still on here. But this is the something flycatcher. Literally every single stream I forget the name of this bird, but it's the bird that's on the box of the Wingspan games. And I got this pattern from a creator called Surithra. I'm really not gonna remember it, Joe. It's something flycatcher, maybe not even that. I don't even know. But anyways, that's I put that on this bag, and that's gonna be for some of the game pieces, the eggs, if you play Wingspan and know. And then for all of the food tokens that you use to feed the birds, to pay for the birds, I don't really remember. I looked at all of the tokens and just kind of eyeballed in Floss Cross, which is like kind of doing pixel art, and I made some little nests that look like the food tokens. So these are a few of them that I've finished. So the food tokens will go in there. And I made 2 different sizes so that they can stack in the box when you put it all away. So we've done a fish and cherries and grain, and I've got a nectar in the box. And tonight we're working on the worm. And so that's what's happening here. Scissor-tailed flycatcher. Thanks, Joe. I don't know why I can never remember that. So yeah, to make these, I have just used... My mouse is like right under my elbow. I have to move that. I'm using plastic canvas, which I just got at Michael's. It's not... The kind that I got is not specifically designed for cross-stitching. There is some that is more specifically designed for cross-stitching, and it has like circles instead of squares, which allegedly has better coverage. I don't know. This is what I was able to find and what I bought. And for those of you who are cross-stitchers, what I'm doing is roughly equivalent to 10 count Ada. Most common Ada is like 14 count, which means 14 stitches per inch. This is 10 stitches per inch, so the stitches theoretically are a bit bigger. So I am using 6 strands of floss, when for something like 14 count, you would usually use 2 strands. So that's kind of all the things to know about this Wingspan pattern. When I get to this part, I'll be doing the traditional X cross-stitching. So maybe in a way what I'm doing now isn't even defined as cross-stitching. Maybe this is like embroidery. But when I did the first one, I did all the X's on this side, and I was like, my god, this is going to take me forever. I have 6 of these little nests to make. And so then I decided to try this out, and I like how it looks. So that's what we're doing on the sides now. Yeah, because I kind of thought the idea is that these should sort of look like birds' nests, and I feel like that gives them a little variation. The other thing that I'm doing is in the 6 strands of floss, I'm using 3 different shades of brown to just kind of give it a little bit more of, yeah, like a tree branch look, like it's a bird's nest. Hello, Ari. Thanks for saying you like this look. Is this 5 out of 6 or 6 out of 6? Oh, this is 5 out of 6. Took me a minute to think about what you meant. Yes, this is the 5th one. We still, after this worm, have to do the rat. Or mouse? Not totally positive which it is. I feel like last time we played, we were calling it a mouse, but in all of my internal documents for this pattern, I think I've called it a rat. So, and I've left it for last because I didn't want to do it. I don't like rodents. But we'll eventually do it after this worm. Maybe at some point, I'll work on this off stream a little bit too, to make some more progress on it. I feel like I've been working on the same handful of projects on stream for quite a while. But yeah, I haven't really completed a project on stream or off stream in a while. I think I've slowed down a little bit on my evening cross-stitching. Maybe because I haven't had any evenings. That feels like a good excuse. A very valid reason to slow down on an evening activity when you don't have evening free time. But yeah, I would say that's like another thing I'm looking forward to. I mean, I'm excited to have the rest of the run of this play. But yeah, when I am done moving and when the play is over, excited to have some evenings back. But I've got evenings back now, even. Like I was saying, we're in performance mode, no more weeknight rehearsals, so I've got a little bit more free time. I'm gonna go see a movie tomorrow. I never go see movies. Technically, I'm gonna see a short play before I see the movie. So many activities. It's valid to slow down if you aren't busy. Sometimes we just want breaks to do different things. It's so true. And sometimes to rest, you need to, like, not even do the fun things that you like doing. You have to just kind of do nothing. My grandmother, whenever we were sick, we were not allowed to do anything. You couldn't watch TV, you couldn't read, you just had to lay there. Which was so hard as a child, but also, I do think, made us heal faster and better, maybe. Just, like, really doing nothing. So your body just heals. If I'm getting anything done besides moving and rehearsing for a show, I'm doing pretty well. I appreciate that. Thank you. I actually did quite a decent amount today. I like organized some notes from some research reading. I did a little bit of my day job. I did all of my hours I was supposed to for my day job. I ran some errands, took a walk, made a little bit of food, and I also got my blood drawn. So that was a big one that had the potential to completely steamroll the whole day, but was fine. Listening to music would maybe be okay in my grandma's rules. I think you could at least persuade her, because it's not quite as active as, like, watching TV or reading. I mean, for some people it absolutely is. But I feel like maybe that would have been allowed. I definitely do not follow her rule when I'm, like, sick or recovering from something these days, but I do think about it, and I think it does at least help me, like, be like, okay, I won't spend the entire day reading or watching something. Maybe I will take even more time to just do nothing, and maybe I fall asleep, maybe I don't. But yeah, it's at least there where I'm like, I know this would help. Maybe I will do it. I'm just seeing a follow-up a bit further back in the chat from Sarah about captions. If it was not so expensive to make things accessible, it would make sense to make it required regardless, but it does feel hard to say to small businesses they can't compete with giant corporations until they get enough money. It does feel icky to not have accessibility, but, like, capitalism just kind of sucks and makes things that shouldn't be hard. It's so true. That is exactly how I feel. Wow, Mikey, well done. Mikey can't hear that, but Joe, you can relay to him. Grandma D approved. And I hope it helps Mikey feel better even sooner. Okay, that is what we've done. Now my least favorite part. We gotta get more floss from these blended strands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One piece of floss. Ah, ah, ah. Starting with the 938. And next up, we'll do the 801. I do think at the end of last stream, I did manage to cut most of these pieces of floss, like, to be roughly the same size, which will make it much less of a headache than it was last week. Hi, Sam! Thanks for popping in. Glad you could make it. We're just doing some more Wingspan cross-stitching. I don't think we will get to the worm tonight, now that I've realized how much more there is to do. Wait, unless... Joe, you have to remind me again. Should I do the pattern first? Or the background first? I keep forgetting which one you suggested. Worm first. Okay, then we're totally gonna get to the worm. We're almost there. Okay. Worm first. It's gonna happen. This might be all the floss I need to do of these 3 pieces. And we're gonna go full worm. Not quite yet, Tom. Who knows what could happen between then and now. But I'm feeling good about our odds. It's almost happening. There you go. Okay. Let's get these pieces of floss going together. Come on. One more. Yeah, to totally delay the worm. See, that's what could happen. That's what could happen. Okay, it is possible these are not quite the same size, but they are much closer in size than... Oh, dang it. Corner. Stuck on a corner. Much closer in size than they had been in the past. I just realized that I've been keeping my cast-off floss in 2 different places. I'm going to put it in one place for tonight. Okay, the last side of this nest. The last little bit of a side. Here we go. Oh, loop starts making a bit of a knot. There we go. We're all good. It's all good. It's fine. I hope this floss can get me 2 squares. Realizing it might not, which is ridiculous. I should have made it all longer. But here we are. Okay, while I battle these last 2 squares, folks should let me know in the chat what you're all working on tonight. Or what you're eating, as it often is. Especially for the North American folks. Let's just make sure. Oh yeah, the back is looking great, actually. like to make sure that it looks as clean as I can on that inside, since we'll be seeing that when we play. Let's see. Joe's in-between projects. Finished the little fox one, haven't decided where to go next yet. Even though I'm not done with projects, I'm feeling a little bit of the like, I'm not sure where to go next. Like, I think I'd like to bring in a fresh project to live streams. I'm not positive what that is yet. Although we're so close to Wingspan being done. I guess I should finish that first. Sarah's eating dinner first. Ooh, turkey burger with roasted beets, potatoes, and string beans on the side. What a garden of side dishes you have there. That sounds delicious. I'm a big fan of turkey burgers myself. I eat them a lot. Tom's working... Oh, browsing Etsy and existing cross-stitch PDFs for what pattern to work on. Tom and Joe, you're in the same place. Same place. I think it's been a while since I've just, like, looked at my bookmarked patterns or, like, PDFs of patterns that I have and picked something out. Like, I think so many of my projects for a while have been a little bit more specific, like, for a specific thing or a specific person, or they've been, like, self-drafted. Kind of like the idea of just, like, going back to my patterns and being like, nope, this is one that just seemed like it'd be fun, and I'm gonna do it. Joe, you like the Oz one? That's good to know, because I love that one, and I would very happily do more of it. Okay, if I can, I'm just gonna bring this back out here so I can finish it off. Also, look at me being terrible at guessing floss. I had all of this left, and we're totally done. But I'm so happy to be bad at it right now. Like, what a relief. I'm gonna just push it up here to finish it off. That did not do super well. Let's stay more in here. I'm glad I got a couple of votes of confidence on the Wizard of Oz pattern. Can definitely bring that back. I liked bringing it back at times when, like, Wicked movies were coming out, but I always love the Wizard of Oz. Sam's got a very late night second dinner. Ooh, veggie curry. I love a curry. That sounds great. Finishing a jigsaw puzzle so you can have space on the table. I know that feeling. What is it a jigsaw puzzle of, if you want to share? If I weren't confident I had enough, I wouldn't have. Very possibly true. Fox pattern was the first with back stitching over the top of the design. Oh yeah, before and after with back stitching can really, really change things. In fact, I might even have a good example of that right here. Wow, it's like you teed me up, but you didn't. So this is my mini bookshelf that I've worked on stream a few times, and I need to keep updating. It's a little bit hard to see. Let's see if we can get... I feel like it's not coming across as well on here, but you can see these two I have backstitched, and the rest I have not yet. And, like, yeah, that backstitching, which for folks who don't know is kind of like outlining. It's like straight stitches instead of the X's, and you just kind of outline to give a little bit more definition or pop to parts of the pattern. Yeah, and it really, really does make a difference. Once all of these books have the backstitching, you'll really be able to tell them apart more. I think they'll look a little bit cleaner. But this is not what we're doing. We're gonna go to Wormtown. That's what it's time for now. Let's see if the camera wants to focus at any point. I don't even know what color is this. I think I have the colors here. We're looking for DMC 3851. Oh, it's in here. I think it's in my project bag. Let's look around in the bag. So much in here. Okay, well this I think is gonna be... Do you want to focus? Maybe? You gonna keep focusing? There you go. That's the lighter part of the worm, I think. Oh, here we go. 3851. It looks so different than my pattern, especially on camera. It looks a little bit closer to the pattern in real life than it does on camera. And I think it's gonna be fine. I think I'll like it. But I am just thinking again about the cherries that I still feel like I maybe did wrong and will maybe redo one day. We shall see. Thanks, Sam, for saying the book tracker looks great already. I like it. This is my 3rd year doing it. I used to make like little Instagram reels / YouTube shorts every now and then, like a couple times a year for those videos, or for that project. Sorry, my hair and my hat are doing weird things. And now it's just like a stream thing. Now I just do it on stream, and I enjoy that more. But yeah, I've been just eating books this year. So I hit my sort of initial reading goal, and now I'm on my way to my stretch goal. And the stretch goal will fill up that bookshelf, so I might have to start piling some books up beside them in the pattern. But anyway, right now we're talking worms. We're gonna do this worm. Oh, and maybe, no. Okay, there's no easy way to start this in terms of counting squares. Here, focus. Come down here and focus. There we go. Is this a brand new piece of floss? I bet I've used it for the Wizard of Oz pattern we were just talking about. I think I have. Most of the green that I own of DMC floss was originally bought for that pattern. Because again, that was an earlier one that I found. I started on it a long time ago. But earlier on in my acquiring of DMC floss, and therefore a lot of the floss that I have bought that is green is from the Emerald City pattern. Sam, I think that I will pile the books to the side of, yeah, like, put them, like, stack them up here. I think would be fun, which I believe was Sarah's idea? I always forget the other person, who also does the book tracker cross-stitch. Yes, it was Sarah. Yes, thank you, Sarah. I loved that idea. I'm also gonna, borrow another idea of yours, slightly differently. Or is it the same? So Sarah does something where, so there's a lot of, like, you can kind of make your own code for a lot of the things on this pattern. So mine is, like, color-coded based on genre. Other people color code based on maybe the length of the book, or maybe even, like, what month they finished the book in. There's all kinds of ways you can color code it. And then Sarah adds little lines going across the spine, like you might see on, like, a fancy old book, or even, like, those books right there on the bottom of my bookshelf. You see how there's, like the title and the author are in different colors. And so you can add a little decoration like that. And Sarah, I can't remember what you said. Yeah, I can't remember what you said you do that for. And it might be the same thing that I am about to say. So in that case, I was 100% inspired by you, and not just partially. But I've really gotten into audiobooks this year, finally. It's not like my first time to listen to them, but I've, like, listened to a lot in earnest. And I think that for any book that was an audiobook, I'm going to put, like, little lines of gold on the spine. I forgot why I mentioned that. Oh, okay, Sarah's little lines are for the star ratings. Got it. Okay, so that is different. So I'm only partially borrowing your idea. But it was a great idea, both of them, the things on the spines and putting extra books to the side. However, if I recall, Sarah, you've read so many books this year that you're literally just doing a whole second bookshelf you're going to fill. Is that right? Which is very, very impressive. Okay, so I need to go down 3 and over 9. I hate when I have to count so many stitches. Oop, the light went out. Okay, pardon me for just a minute. I'm gonna have to stand up in front of the camera. Put my light on the cross stitch. I usually plug in. I forgot to plug it in. So it was on battery and it just died. Oh, and I apparently tried to type something in the chat. Hold on. I know I'm touching the microphone. I'm just doing everything a mess right now. We're getting there. The camera's freaking out. Not really sure why the camera's freaking out. Okay. Standing. I know. What? Streamer has legs? No way. Scandalous. Alright. Light on there. I do want to get, like, a light more here, so that it doesn't make the picture quality on my camera worse. It's another one of the many things to figure out, but my list of ideas and things to do for streaming, simply enormous, and all things that I'm excited to do. It's just finding that time. AI legs, they aren't real. No, my legs are real. I promise, and I like them. I like having legs. I like having a body. I do not want to be artificial in any way. Okay. I just get nervous when I have to start part of a pattern and the only option is counting like more than 5 stitches. Just like want to make sure I really get there. So we are going to Wormtown. We're starting the worm, but we're going to start with a little bit of silence as I count and recount and make sure I get there. So we're going down 3. We blank. We're really going down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which means we're going to start here. Just going to double check. I've got 3 up here. And then it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope. Ugh. Right? I need 9. So let's go over 1 from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got 10. Okay. Apparently I'm starting from this direction. That's fine. It's all fine. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm still... Oh. I'm only using 2 strands and I need to use 6. Oh. I forgot. But I'm gonna keep this stitch in for now. I'll figure out some other way to mark it in a moment, so I don't have to count a million times again. Okay. Oh no, this is gonna be really frustrating. But I guess I'm just doing it. Oh well. So floss comes in 6 strands. I'm only using 3 to create the 6 because I fold it over and do the loop start method. But because I used this for a different project, there was already 1 or 2 gone from the batch. And so if I were starting it fresh, I would always have 3 and 3 and would just make it very neat. But instead, I'm going to have like 1 strand left over after this. So that's annoying, but we'll just deal with it. This color is also like so close to this background project mat that I have going. Okay, so let's undo this stitch. Math strikes again. A little bit. That was mostly me forgetting. Well, yeah, forgetting to count more strands. So I guess that's a kind of math. Okay, now we got 3. We're folding it over, just turning it into 6. Gonna trim it just a tiny bit to get it all even so I can get it on the needle better. All right. No, we got 1 strand that's not coming up here. Come on. All right. And we count again. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we go over here for 10. Nope, we gotta go down 1 more. Oh, and now it's all gone. I dropped the needle. Okay. 1, 2, 3, but then we'd start on 4. So we're gonna stay on this row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is where I want to start. I'm also so sorry to anyone who's doing their own projects and I'm counting so much right now. I usually try to count in my head for that reason, but in this moment, I just gotta do it. I gotta do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I told you we may never get to Wormtown. The number of distractions I've had thus far. But I think we have done it. Oh no. How the hell did I do that? I somehow just stitched... Okay, I gotta redo this to some extent now. Wormtown is never happening. It's never gonna happen. Can't make fetch happen. Can't make Wormtown happen. Hello, Irish Disney nerd. Welcome in. And now the camera's doing something super weird. The worm is cursed. I wonder if my camera's just hot. It doesn't feel that hot. We'll turn it on and off again. Man. Or maybe, I wonder if a cable is loose. And try a few different things. Oh my gosh. Wormtown is never happening. There's something going on. The world does not want Wormtown to happen. Oh yeah, it's just totally disconnected. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna try to make sure it's all in here. That's good. It says it's on. Huh. Let's try again. Okay. Weird. It would be my MO to only be live for an hour and then head out soon. I will head out not too long after 8 o'clock tonight. Sarah, look at this almost completed half stitch. I'm not turning around and doing the rodent yet. Not with all of this work I've put into half of this half stitch. I mean, but you're right. In terms of what the universe may be trying to tell me, perhaps I should do the rodent. But no, we've come this far. All right, let me check one more time. We have 3 blank up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm calling it. I did that correctly this time. We have the first half stitch of the worm. Yeah, long spool summer just means a long wait before things happen. This is so far away from me now. Okay. Here we go. Now we're gonna do 7 stitches. Yeah, I'll show them. I'm so stubborn. I'm a Taurus. It happens. We did it. 1 whole stitch. Oh, nice. Tauruses unite. Oh, I suppose we could update the stitch counter. You're right about that. I'll keep the 1,000 estimate as, like, I'm not entirely sure how many stitches this pattern is, because if I go over here, it says it's only 293, but that does not account for the background. And I think when I alleged that there were 1,000, that was before I started doing the sides the way that I did. Although maybe not. I mean, we can also just very easily do some math here. We have 25, this is 25 by 25. How much is that? Wow, I haven't been in school for a long time. My arithmetic is terrible. Okay, 625 plus whatever I did on the sides. Indeed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if we say each one's like 10, that's like 50 stitches. 50 times 4 is 200. Oh, but then I did all of these, which would be another 25. So 200 more. So that's 400. And then the sides here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they're like 6 times 4 is 24. So like 424. 1,049. I was pretty close. So the total. Where's... Oh, there we go. That's where I do it. Let's say it's 1,049. That was a fairly accurate count. Yeah, about 1,000. I feel like I was pretty good on that. So on this pattern, we have just done 4 stitches. Oops, I did the wrong hotkey. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because that one we actually need to update all the way to 23 because we did the warm-up pattern. Oh, but then we did 30-ish. Let's say it's like 36. Hey, thanks for the 3-stream streak, Irish Disney nerd. Appreciate that. Thanks for coming in. We're gonna say that for how many we've done today as a total. That's where we're starting now. Nope, I did that wrong. Ugh. All right. Got it. Done. Four stitches into the worm. Figured out some math. Got an accurate count going now. Thank you all for your support in that. Yeah, I've heard there's a pretty bad heat wave happening in Ireland. Hope you're staying cool and safe however you can. It's been pretty hot in New England as well. I feel like the worst of ours... Well, actually, we do have an extreme heat warning for tomorrow. I was about to say, the worst of ours is over. Now it's going to be pretty hot tomorrow. Our electric company has started gamifying electricity use, and they're now telling us, like, where in the ranking you are compared to your neighbors, and it's trying to get you to beat your neighbors by using the least amount of electricity, specifically during peak hours. And we were like in 3rd place at one point before I realized that we were only in 3rd place because the dates they were measuring were when we had been out of town. I was like, oh. So now we're much lower in the ranking, which was disappointing. We'll have to... I mean, streaming is not helping electric use at all, but we can try to not run the AC quite as much, both because it's good for the environment and our bills, but mostly so that we can win our electric companies' gamified electric use. Yeah, just don't be home. And I'm sure the like households that are number 1 are just not home, and that's why they're using so little electricity. You don't win anything except glory. I really wish there were a prize. It'd be so cool. Honestly, even if it were like a get the electric company like t-shirt, a t-shirt with their logo, even that, I'd be like, here's why I won this, and I would wear it proudly and tell people why. But no, there does not seem to be a prize. The prize is doing good for the environment. Yeah, it's actually a much better idea. $5 off your next bill. Yeah, that'd be great. Um, our local grocery store, I mean, it's a chain, but like it was started locally, just turned 90. And so they were doing a big party over the weekend. And part of that was they were doing giveaways that were just like $50 gift cards there. And I was just sort of thinking of like, I can't really think of any other place that would be doing gift cards like for their place of business as a celebration that I would be as excited about. Like that $50 gift card for groceries would go so far in our current economic environment. I was just that felt like a very smart giveaway. Like they had cupcakes and free samples and balloons and party hats and all of that was super, super fun. But the giveaways for gift cards, which we did not win, but I thought that was great. I mean, yes, I would love gift cards to a bookstore or a cross-stitch store, but I think there was something about being there and that being the main giveaway. I don't know. I'm not quite sure how to describe it. I think it's also like a bookstore or a cross-stitch store. That feels like a gift of a gift card of that's something that I don't need, but I would be excited to get. Whereas with groceries, it's just like, this is something I have to buy, and everything is more expensive than it used to be. And so $50 just feels like a great relief to get that gift card. Yeah, I think it's a different vibe. I think that's what it was. Oof, yeah, Irish, good luck going to hot Birmingham on Friday. I do actually currently have a gift card to a cross-stitch store that I'm considering what to do with. So that was a very apt comparison point. And I was excited about that gift card as well. But I have not decided what to do with it yet. And the grocery store one, I would just put on my next big shop. You know, I did say we're going to Wormtown, and I guess I didn't think about the fact that I'd be stitching, like, this circle of the worm for most of this stream. We may not get to the worm on this stream after all. If I did longer streams, we totally would. Going to Circle Town, that's right. Circle Town is a grocery store, isn't it? Building Wormtown's wall. That's great. Good alliteration there. Irish, make sure you wear lots of sunscreen then, apparently. Gotta stay safe. I mean, that stitch doesn't look quite as nice, but that's what we're gonna do. Circletown is a municipality surrounding Wormtown. It's true. It is surrounding Wormtown. I mean, you could probably make the political joke if you are comfortable making it. I have not established chat rules here on this channel in a formal way yet. My vibe is every now and then we get a little bit political because many of us lead lives that are inherently political, and it just comes out sometimes, but I like to usually keep it a little bit lighter or shortened and not linger on the politics. Wow, these strands are just, we gotta undo the last couple of stitches. My strands of floss are all coming apart. I don't even know what happened here. Huh. And the worms will pay for it. That sounds very familiar, but I have to admit that I do not recall the reference in this moment. So at least from my end, you're all good. Oh, I heard that parts of the UK and or the EU were gonna stop having the 3-ounce rule on liquids for flying. So that's happened, huh? I keep thinking, or my thought when I first heard that a couple years ago was like, maybe the US would follow suit. Like if the UK does it, maybe the US would. I don't have a ton of hope, but that would be cool. Okay. Come to the end of our first Circle Town floss. I'm gonna get it a little secured back here. Ugh, there we go. Sometimes on the plastic canvas, it is so hard to get this floss out, and that does not quite feel secure enough. Let's see if we can pass it through a few more stitches on the back here. Just a little bit. Ah, okay. Thanks for the explainer, Tom. Gross. Okay. And now I might just set this piece of floss aside so that I can get my even 3 and 3 that I was talking about, and so I can make it a little bit longer. I think that would be helpful. Lightning is a great pet name, Sarah. That's cool. I'm into that. Okay. So I've made this a good deal longer. Now we'll get 3 strands off of it and get back to Circle Town. Guess I've never thought about cats going gray. And that black cats would be the one that you would probably notice that the most. Okay, so updated liquids thing, it has to be under like a liter. You don't have to take them out of your bag. Electronics can stay in your bag. That sounds pretty good. Sounds a little like what we've got for pre-check over here in the States. Ah, Joe, that makes more sense. I understand now. I think I've gotten so used to everyone, not everyone, but you know, so many people saying that despite age that I I didn't even blink at that. I also love John Oliver. I usually eventually watch most Last Week Tonight episodes, but I am awful at watching them like as they're coming out, and I would like to do that better. And now this. Or he says it, and then the like voiceover guy says it differently. And now this. That's, well, or John Oliver, he usually says it a little bit more resigned because he's like finishing up a segment about how terrible the world is. He says it in a little bit of a resigned way, and then the announcer guy is more like, and now this. Wow. 2 8-year-old black cats. bit of a coincidence there. Look at this random piece on this pattern. I apparently accidentally put half of a backstitch into this pattern and only noticed now. Whoops. I will not be stitching that. Oh wait, or did I do it on purpose? It is on purpose. That's like antenna or something. I don't know why do worms have antenna? Yeah, it's the worm's antenna. Hello, Rocky Robin. Welcome into the chat. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. That's so funny that I thought that was a mistake, and it's totally not. It's the worm's antenna. All right. I did better than I thought, it turns out. We're just in here working on some Wingspan custom containers that I have designed and am cross-stitching for the tabletop game Wingspan. And just chatting about random things. Rocky Robin, you or anyone else who'd like to share, welcome to share any projects you may or may not be working on. We've got a few folks in between projects today. Curious if you've picked anything yet, Tom. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, we got another string of 7 here on Circle Town. I will say it is very satisfying getting to the bottom parts of these nests. I always think that a full coverage piece, just like from a tactile sensation, feels very nice, and these really thick 6 strands on the plastic canvas feel awesome. And so as it starts getting filled in down here, it just is a very nice sensory feeling, if that's not redundant to say. Cross-stitch wizard frog. That sounds very fun. Well, you're in the right place. We're a bunch of cross-stitchers in here. Not entirely, but good amount of us are. Deoxyribo, sounds like you're really joining the theme tonight of people who are a little bit in between projects or just trying to decide where to go next and what to do. So you are in good company here tonight. Tom's leaning towards a cool Lisa from The Simpsons. Oh yeah, that sounds like a great little gift for your friend to help them feel better, have a little smile. Oh, nice. Well, congratulations on working towards your GED. That's always a big deal. And we here have a lot of challenges with math, so you are also in good company. I feel like I did pretty well at math in school, but school was a long time ago, and despite how much I've tried to resist becoming reliant on calculators for basic arithmetic, I sure have become reliant on calculators for basic arithmetic in recent years. So good on you for getting back into that and practicing, because it is a skill that we do not have, like we do not have reason to practice these days. So you kind of really have to go out of your way to keep those skills fresh in your mind. Well, thanks for popping in, Irish. I hope you have get some good sleep and stay cool and not sunburnt on your trip. Yeah, good point. We may not be able to help if you have math questions. You can try. Oh wow, Sarah. That feels like something you could say to a teacher who, says something like, when you're in high school, you can't use your fingers to count in math anymore, so you got to get out of that habit now. And then you could be like, well, my mom. That's great, Rocky Robin. I think that's one of the best things about adulthood. I mean, it can be very frustrating in retrospect, but sort of figuring out like what it was that made things more challenging for you. And in your case, sounds like you've identified at least two things that you are now able to get some solutions for. And yeah, I love that. I feel like learning to ask questions, but also sort of learning like what the best questions are and when to ask them was a big part of my later education. And I also think there are many classes that I like could have done better in had I understood that earlier on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, I always think people who are good at like math and art are very interesting people. I was much more of a like language and art kind of person, but I think math and art people, cool brains, cool brains. This doesn't quite look like 7, but I just counted it twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. We're just breezing right along on Circle Town here. It really can make such a difference having a good teacher. And that's an unfortunate thing that I feel like I hear from so many people and experienced a bit myself of entire subjects that you just like always thought you were bad at because you didn't have a teacher who was maybe able to give you the chance you needed and the attention you needed. And of course, it's great when it goes the other way. But yeah, it's a bummer. Wow, that's super cool. Okay, so it sounds like you've got some great teachers now, giving you a canvas and everything. That's awesome. I was thinking yesterday about how I'm just like, as an adult, I've become obsessed with history. I love history. I'm thinking about going to grad school to get my master's in history, even though I barely did it as an undergrad. And I was thinking about like how I have always liked history, but I never liked it in the classroom, or I rarely did. I often felt confused in history classes, or bored sometimes, or like I just like wasn't getting it and wasn't feeling excited. But then so many of my interests like outside of school were very much that of like a young history enthusiast. And so I was just sort of like trying to think about that yesterday, because as I've mentioned earlier on stream, but for people who weren't here or haven't been here in previous weeks, I'm currently doing a play that takes place at a museum. And so I was thinking about all of this while I was watching like one of the museum professionals during our talk back. And I was just like reflecting on my own relationship to history and maybe wanting to be like a history professional. And I was like, but I was never a good history student growing up or even into high school, and in college I barely took history at all. And I think a lot of that, like, I think part of it was kind of teachers. I think I just didn't quite mesh with some of the history teachers I had, and it's such a big subject that sometimes if you didn't have that good foundation, it's really hard when you get to the more advanced levels of it in a way. I think most subjects are like that. And so then it becomes even like harder and even more frustrating. You feel like stupid and you're not, but that's how you feel because you didn't have the good foundation for it. And I didn't really come to a super solid conclusion in my musings about that yesterday, but I was thinking that like what I'm presently interested in for a degree is a discipline called public history, which is sort of, instead of creating works that are just in academia, like just becoming a professor or just writing like textbooks and theory. Public historians do things like work at museums or like write books that the public can actually understand and not in textbook speak. And I was like, actually, that makes a lot of sense that I would want to be a public historian as someone who did love history but did not really love it in the classroom. And so that was kind of a nice realization for me yesterday that I had that relates to what we're talking about in terms of sometimes when you don't have those teachers who kind of give you the support you need or spark that enthusiasm in you, you can still find that elsewhere sometimes. Yeah, Tom, I think like I don't know, because I know you're a couple years older than me, and I feel like most of my history classes when I was growing up were very much moving away from, and they were always very explicit. They were like, I don't want you to just memorize dates and names. I want you to like understand this. But then I think I was stuck with understand what? Like, if that's not what we're learning, I don't understand what we are learning. I think that was a big problem that I had. Oh, Sarah, I'm jealous. That sounds amazing. I remember liking my freshman, like, university history teacher a lot. But I think I just wasn't ready to, like, engage with theory on the level that he was trying to get us to. I mean, Sarah, that's the dream. That is the absolute dream. I just need to figure out how to get to that point. Oh man, I did a little speaking, like virtual speaking gig, with a support group at one point, and just by a complete surprise, there ended up being someone in the support group that was like a bit of a public figure that I know, or know of. I don't know personally, but someone who kind of like works in media and is connected, and someone there said something very similar to you, Sarah. They were just like, I feel like you'd be so good at just like hosting like a history docu-series or something. And I was just like, man, I hope this like well-connected media person is listening and will give me money to do that, or like think of me, because everything was just very teed up for that to be a great opportunity for me, but there was no way for me to really like say it and connect the dots. But anyways, if anyone has connections to someone who would hire me to produce a series that I host on history, I would love to do that. I've been angling to do that for years, but I don't quite have the history like credentials, and I'm a little bit out of the game in terms of hosting and content creation anyways. But yeah, that would be, I would love to just be like I mean, I guess this industry is dying, but like an actual on TV PBS series host, like Lucy Worsley or something like that. But yeah, TV's kind of dying. So maybe maybe it's okay to just do that on YouTube anyways. Yeah, if only, Sarah, if only. First of all, Rocky Robin, let me know if you prefer if I call you Rocky or Robin or Rocky Robin. But also, I think that's a great perspective of who is ever ready to go to college at all. And if you're just excited to learn and paint all the time to the point you get sick of it, and if you're able to, like, afford to go and make that work, then you should totally do it. I think there are so many people who don't even stop to think if they're ready. So the fact that you even gave that consideration puts you a little ahead of other folks. Oh, and thanks for the follow. Follows are anonymous, but feel free to chime in the chat if you want a little shout out or just want to join in the conversation. Oh, thank you, Rocky Robin. I appreciate that. One, two, three. We got 1, 2. So we'll start back up here. Oh, sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. Maybe let's bring this more over here where I'm actually stitching. Keep losing the camera. Lightning is left. Does that mean that you now you get to return to your stitching? You've been freed. Joe, if I knew you were a teacher, I think I might have forgotten, which I'm sorry about, but that is so awesome. I have a couple of friends who are teachers, and when I hear about like some of the positive impacts from their students or the things their students will share with them, it is very, very heartwarming to hear. And for the direction that I was taking this conversation, I do want to say that I had lots of amazing, amazing teachers, many of which I feel like I did not behave well to at the time, but who have left a huge impact on me, and I'm incredibly grateful for all the opportunities that they gave me and all that they taught me. Oh wow, very new to cross-stitching. Well, welcome in. I only started cross-stitching a few years ago. I think I did it a little bit when I was younger, but I'm still fairly new to it myself. So welcome to cross-stitching. What made me a less than ideal student? Talking too much in class often got me in trouble. Although I still maintain I was usually speaking about things on task. I would like make jokes about what we were learning. I was very frequently off topic with my talking in class. I just didn't shut up. And I think in high school, classes that were a little harder for me, I had more trouble putting the effort in to like just do well on homework and tests and stuff like that. Wow, Sarah, that's a wonderful note to get from a kid. I mean, and I love that you still remember it to this day. That's like the greatest thing, I think, is when you have a student who you can really help like have a breakthrough like that. I have never been a full-time teacher, but I've done a lot of like workshops and stuff in schools, and so I've gotten a little taste of it. And like I said, a lot of my friends are teachers. That sounds like a great improvement. Yeah. And that's what so much of life is about, is improving, figuring out how we can improve. I guess maybe not for everyone, but I'm a big like self-improvement and learning from life kind of person. I like learning new things, but I also like learning about myself and learning how I can do better, whatever better means in my book at that time, which definitely changes over the years. I mean, I think that's a great perspective to have as a teacher, Joe. I think as an adult, I can recognize that a lot of teachers are super burnt out and under resourced, and they like deal or don't deal with that in different ways. And even a student who like has the enthusiasm, they might not have the energy to harness that enthusiasm all the time. So I love teachers like you who are able to do that, but I can also totally have sympathy for the ones who can't quite, you know, have the spoons for that every day. Not to get too gendered on this stream, but I do love the girl being like, it would have been okay to get more angry at the boys. uh, It is 7:49. 8 o'clock's coming soon. I think it would be really fun to finish the circle. I'm a little unsure if that's a realistic goal, but I think it would be fun if we could do that. So I'm gonna try. Whoop. Wow. Okay, that's some motivation, Sarah. Don't try, just do. Uh. I feel like somewhere in my brain I knew that was a Yoda reference, but I think it may be one of those Yoda references that has escaped containment and just comes up everywhere now. Joe, I like that you're trying to get like chat to come up with an incentive for me. I feel like it's usually like streamer coming up with incentives for the chat. So that's great. Clearly I'm getting sleepy though. So we'll see. Can I finish before I just fall asleep while stitching? One, two, three. I think we're good. I think I'm still staying where this needs to be. We'll definitely find out a little bit more once we actually get to the worm and get to the background. But so far, I don't think I've messed anything up too terribly. Yeah, I think we can totally finish this before I get off. Joe, I do get money if you use bits, not just if you, like, I think for bits, you buy them in some way, which, you know, Twitch is so complicated. There may be ways that aren't real money in which you acquire bits, and then you can use those on any channel, and whatever channel you use them on, if they're an affiliate or a partner, they do get just a little bit of money from bits. But the reason you're asking, you might have seen something. I have not activated much more on my channel, but Twitch has made some changes of, like, I think there are more things that you can use bits for now, and so I might be updating some things once I get a little bit of time to have some more, like, fun things, like stuff that, like, maybe some stuff that right now is just channel points. Maybe you could use channel points or bits. I also have, like, so many more ideas for sound alerts in the future, and, like, maybe some of those would be via channel points, maybe some of them would be via bits. I gotta look into it more. But yeah, I know there have been some Twitch changes recently, so that is possibly why you are seeing something about bits more prominently than you have before. I did not change anything, however, yet. So whatever you're seeing different was not me. I was, like, almost done with this floss, and then it started falling off the needle, and now I can't get it back on the needle. Come on. Come on, Eileen. Maybe I just need to finish this piece of floss then. Oh, I didn't get all 6 strands on. Of course not. Alright. That looks better. Okay, we're gonna finish this stitch, and then we're gonna finish this floss. which means I'm gonna have so much extra floss. We'll figure it out. We're so close to finishing the circle with that piece of floss. Alas. One more piece of floss, and then we'll finish Circle Town. And next week, we could go to Wormtown. For real. It'll really happen. After 2 weeks of anticipation. Uh-oh. Where'd you go? The floss is gone. I see it. Don't get in the wheels. Ah, saved. I got it. It really is challenging having this floss be such the same color as my, what do you call this, cutting mat? Or work mat? Project mat? And next week I'll decide to work on it. There's a strong chance that I don't remember I said this and I do just like pick out a different project for next week. No, I feel like there's been so much lead up to Wormtown that I'll have to do it next week. I mean, I did like the positive encouragement to bring back the Emerald City pattern, and we are now rounding in on completing Wingspan, so maybe we just gotta get through Wingspan. Yeah, Wormtown was totally clickbait. No curiosity gap here, just all bait. Oh, I didn't get it. Now I get it. Okay. At least Tom and Sarah are on the same page as each other, and I'm just like 3 steps behind tonight. What was the other, like, fishing thing? Oh, it was the fish. I was gonna say, I remember making other fishing jokes on notifications a bit ago, and it's because we were doing the fish token nest. Circling the drain at this point in the stream. See, I can do it sometimes. Stay even, Floss. I would love for you to stay even. We're coming full circle in just a moment, actually. I mean, I hope so. I say that. We shall see. Yeah, really circling in on full circle here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, we're done with this bigger section, which means we're getting very close. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 stitches left. 9 stitches left to complete the circle, to come full circle. Yeah, can I do the 9 stitches before 8 o'clock? I cannot! I surely cannot. The tolling of the bells means it did not happen, but I'm still gonna finish, don't worry. Did not make it by 8 o'clock, though. What timing? Clock is really shaming me there. Well, happy 8 o'clock, everyone. I did get very close. In my head, I just wanted to like vaguely finish the circle around 8. I think if I had said no, I'm gonna finish by 8 o'clock, then I might have gone a little faster. That was very funny timing though for me to be like, am I gonna finish? And then the bell starts tolling. Yeah, Sam, welcome in. I think 8 o'clock sound alert has only happened successfully once before. So welcome to any newcomers to 8 o'clock. And this is our final stitch on the circle. Look at that. Beautiful circle. And I have lots of floss left, which means we will start the worm with this floss on the next stream. That's gonna happen. That's what we're doing. Cool. Look, now it's like the ozone layer. Just around the world there. Going to Wormtown next week. It's happening. So what did we do here? We did exactly 100 stitches on this pattern, plus some of the stuff on the sides, plus the warm-up stitch. We were probably close to like 150 stitches today, which is on the slower side, but for specialty projects, pretty good, pretty good. Okay. I think I am just gonna wrap it up with that. We made it to 8 o'clock. We made it full circle. Next week we'll go to Wormtown. Oh, hey, thanks for the bits, Joe. I really appreciate you coming in there at the end with some bits, some cheers. I also do not fully understand everything about bits. Just doing it for the bit. Actually, Joe, that should be like a bit tier. Just doing it for the bit. Not how you thought it would look. I have not designed... I think I can make custom designs for bits, and I have not done it yet. So, that is one reason that it doesn't look, I don't know, like how you might have thought it would. But I appreciate it nonetheless. And I appreciate all of you coming in tonight, joining in the chat, being down to clown with some fun bits, as in jokes, and also some feedback on some thoughts that I've had. And I hope you all got some good progress done as well. I am not gonna raid and run tonight. I'm just gonna run, and maybe next week we'll get back into some raiding and some show and tell. But yeah, just keeping it a little bit chill of an ending tonight. Joe, please tell Mikey that I hope he feels better soon. And yeah, I hope that you all have a fantastic week, and I'll see you again next week. I'm almost positive. Maybe we'll do packing next week. I don't know. We'll do a packing stream sometime soon. That may even not be on a Monday evening. We shall see. Plenty to come. Keeping it chill tonight. Going full circle. Next week, Wormtown and potentially other shenanigans. All right, everyone. Have a great night.